All right, let's take a look at our day number 2 tryout plan. This tryout will take roughly about 2 hours. Should be about how long it takes. So we're going to start with our regular warm-up again, looking to evaluate leadership, character, attention to detail. The second time through, maybe they're a little bit more familiar with it, so that either sometimes leads them to being a little bit better, or sometimes it leads them to being a little more relaxed. And those are things that you can be evaluating during your tryout process. Then we're going to go to our 3-base bunting base running drill, which I actually like because it allows you to evaluate not only your bunters but also your base runners. So what we do is we put base runners at each base, first, second, and third. We'll have a short line at each base and then a short line of bunters behind the plate. A coach is delivering from a short pitcher's mound. So at our level at 60 feet, I may be throwing from 45 or 50 feet. We put a screen behind the bunter, and they're basically trying to get a bunt down. For us, the first bunt, we want to be as close to the line as possible. If they go to strike one, the second bunt then we want to be at about a 45-degree angle so that the pitcher has to move. We do not want the ball right directly back to the pitcher. That's what we call the green zones for the second attempt there. And then what we're looking at is that gives us a chance to evaluate each bunter. And then also we have a coach watching our base runners, because what should happen is they should take their regular secondary lead and then wait till they see the ball down before they start going. Sometimes runners will treat this like a straight steal, or as soon as the ball's bunted, even if it's bunted in the air, they're taken off. So it allows us to evaluate not only our bunters but also our base runners, and gives them practice at it from all the bases. We run a safety squeeze from third base, not really a suicide squeeze. And so what they have to read from third base is that the ball is down and away from the pitcher before they go. It's kind of a tough read, but they get better at it the more you practice it. Again, don't expect them to do something in a game you don't practice in practice. Then we go to our throwing program and daily dozen for our pitchers. Again, looking for leadership, who's staying with the throwing program, so who's doing the infield drills, the outfield drills, and the daily dozen drills that we're asking them to do during this time. Then who's got arm strength, who's throwing with accuracy, and who's moving feet and receiving throws properly as well. So not reaching for a throw, but moving your feet and getting around the throw. Next, we go down to our where we split up infielders, outfielders, and catchers. For our infielders, we're going to have them do a little bit of range today. I want to see who's got some range to the forehand side, some range to the backhand side, and then the ability to throw on the run as well. We may throw some slow rollers in there. So yesterday on day 1, we just checked their very basic fielding mechanics. Now we're going to look at throwing with now we're going to look at their range, their athleticism. Then we're going to do double plays against the clock. Again, I give guys 4.5 seconds. Just so that we can have about an average runner going down the line. We're going to work 5-4-3s, 6-4-3s, 4-6-3s, and 3-6-3 double plays. Depending on if you have any POs, any pitcher onlys, they may be involved in this as well. And you can work a 1-6-3, a 1-2-3, or a 3-6-1 double play. And we're always putting them on the clock here. We're not doing any real instruction at this point. We may stop, break things down a little bit, but we haven't really got into the in-depth into how to turn double plays. We just want to see where players are at this point, what they look like turning double plays, and so on. Our outfielders and catchers are going to do our hitter production chart, which I'll show you in just a few seconds. So we give them some time to hit our T's around the cage, and then they're going to get hitter production chart. Each one will get the same number of swings in the cage. For this segment, we're just looking mostly fastballs, and we're trying to throw it down the middle, keep the hitter production chart, and then we'll the next time we do it, which would be day 3, now we're going to mix things up a little bit, put them in count situations, and keep that hitter production chart for them that time as well. Then we flip-flop, so our infielders go to do the hitter production chart. Our outfielders and catchers are going to go to their individual defense. This is probably going to take them about 35 or 40 minutes on each of these segments here. So that'll leave us right about 2 hours for this. The outfielders, we're going to make them move now. They're going to go left, they're going to go right, they're going to go back. We may not be able to do this too well if we're inside, but again, you want to see what kind of athleticism they have moving side to side, catching the ball. And then even in a gym, you should be able to see what they look like going back on a ball. You're looking for things like angles, beating the ball to the spot, getting behind the ball and catch it coming through so you can make a strong, accurate throw. If we're outside, we're going to set up a cutoff man or a net for them to throw to, checking arm strength and accuracy. If we have a third coach, then we might have our catchers here do some individual receiving drills, straight-on blocking drills. Coaches are going to try to throw pitches around the edge to see that they're able to hold the ball and not drag it out of the zone. What I mean by that is catching the ball in the outside corner and the hand keeps going out of the zone, or catching the ball at the bottom of the zone and the hand keeps going down. So we're going to see that they can beat the ball to the spot, catch the ball around the edges, and then we'll do some basic blocking technique with them today. The main time when our catchers are going to be evaluated defensively is going to be during our bullpen session, which again will be in tryout plan number 3. Then we have our infielders are going to be doing the hitter production chart. We've got some explanation of the drills over here and there. The rest of them I think are somewhat self-explanatory, but then here's our hitter production chart on the right side. We'll put all our players' names here, and then the key is down here. They have swing and miss, they get a 0. Tapper, pop-up, foul ball, they get a 1. A ground ball, fly ball, or soft line drive is a 3. Line drive, gap shot is a 4, and a potential home run is a 5. And so all we're going to do is we're going to put our numbers right here. So let's say player Tommy, let's say he gets 5 swings. He hits a tapper, a regular fly ball, so he'd have 1, 3, then a gap shot 4, swing and miss, that's a 0, and on his 5th one he hits a tapper. We add those up for total points. Total number of swings is 5, and he gets his average over there. So we'll keep this for 2 different rounds in practice. One of them is just, hey, here's a fastball down the middle, see what you can do with it. And then the next round that we'll have on the 3rd tryout day will be a little bit more intense, where we're going to give them counts and we're going to give them situations, and we're going to be throwing fastballs to edges, and we're going to be throwing breaking balls. And we're going to see how they react to those, and we'll keep a hitter production chart for that as well. So that's how we are going to work on day number 2. Day number 3, we're going to have them make some more decisions, and we want to get a look at pitchers and catchers as well. So that'll be our 3rd and final tryout day, although you could, as I'll mention in the next video, you could divide day 3 into 2 days probably. One day where you're doing team decisions day and another day where you're doing the pitchers and catchers. But if you have a long block of time, then you'd probably want to get those done in one day so you can be done with your tryouts in 3 days.